In this video, I'm going to share with you how to participate in a small cap private placement program correctly. Hi, my name is Taimour Zaman from Creditai. I get a lot of inquiries from business owners asking me, hey, I have $15 million, I have $25 million, I want to participate in a private placement program, and how can I do that correctly, and how can you help us? A little bit about me. I have not one but two people in my life who, I'll just tell you, one of them lived in a rental apartment after he got divorced from his wife, participated in a private placement program. Now he's got a beautiful ocean view condo and has 5-minute driving distance from his office, from his home to his office. So not only have one, but I have two case studies of people I know in my life whose, for the lack of better word, life has changed because they participate in a private placement program. As a result of that, I decided to study this industry and get into it myself. And what I discovered is this industry is full of fraud. When I mean full of fraud, I mean full of fraud. For me to participate in a private placement program, the first thing I had to do for me, and this is not for you, something for me, was I had to learn how to hire former white-collar crime division people from FBI, CIA to help me vet it out. So I went through that process. And the next thing that happened was clients would approach me, call me, find me on the internet, YouTube, referrals, lawyers, and say, hey, we want to participate in private placement programs. We've picked a private placement program. Can we hire your guys to do background vetting checking on the platform for us? So that's how not only did I got into the space, but I started to understand and learn what fraudulent artists looks like, what fraudulent private placement providers looks like. There's 20 different joker brokers that we now have bumped into them so many times when we know this is a fraudulent guy or fraudulent fraud, whatever it is. And every time we get involved on the next company, they set up a new company, but the structure's the same. The name of the broker might be different. Anyways, I don't want to go into a study of that. So I want to tell you about if you want to go into a private placement program, the challenges you face and things you want to deal with. The first one is it will take over a year for an entrepreneur who's interested to learn about this program to change their religion and get committed. Partly because there's a lot of conflicting information out there and you don't know who to trust. That's like part one of it. Part two of it is I find a lot of the entrepreneurs haven't committed. If you want to lose 30 pounds as an analogy, you have to stop eating junk food and you have to go to the gym every day. I don't know how else to say that. In the same context, if you want to participate in a private placement program, you either commit to doing it or you don't commit to doing it. My firm, before you contact us, we charge a retainer fee up front if you're not ready to go. I just know the amount of emotional legwork we have to do for a client if they've not done it. There's a lot of heavy lifting we have to do in terms of holding the emotions. That's just the nature of the beast. And I need to get paid for it. and that's just, nothing bad or wrong with it. That's just how our business operates. And if the entrepreneur's made $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year, but once you get into a private placement program that's going to guarantee him $500,000 a month, logically that doesn't happen. The ones that go into private placement programs successfully, especially the ones that we've seen, the ones that we've helped, the guy's a billionaire or a millionaire, and he's doing that so he can quit his full-time job of running a billion-dollar corporation and have passive income coming in. That emotional mindset is significantly different than a small business owner who wants to go and access that same amount of income. There's an emotional maturity that needs to go through, and we charge money to help a company go to that emotional thing. So I just want to talk about best practices to do this. So one concern a lot of entrepreneurs have is money has to leave their account. And that's a massive concern for them. I fully understand that. Reality is there's 12 major platform providers that are real, authentic, and they're the major banks, richest families on the planet. And the fact is they're not looking for your money. That's just a fact. They have zero interest in making you rich. They have zero interest in funding your lifestyle. There's zero interest in all of that. There's about 160 sub-platforms, and then there's another million fake platforms that add. The 160 sub-platforms are trying to take your money, your paper, whatever that is, and give it to the top 12, for the top 12 to go and monetize it and actually enable something called private placement program. I have a 1-hour video on how private placement programs works, but one of the reasons that in a small cap program, the money has to leave your account is simply because if I was the trade desk, I need $100 million or $500 million in my bank so that I can get a line of credit issued based on that capital, period. So if you're not interested, if you're not committed for your money to leave your bank account, I am telling you, I get paid to investigate fraudulent or private placement programs, capital enhancement programs. I'm going to tell you, anybody that says they're going to block it, I'm going to save you $10,000 by telling you anybody that says they're going to block the money in your account, more likely is fraudulent and for sure will never pay. Period, you don't ever get paid. Period. The formula doesn't work when the money's in your account. So that's part one. So if you're committed to participating in it, you have to be ready for the money to leave your account. The authentic ones, they're taking your money, they're doing some form of a syndication where they're taking money from you, money from the other guy, money from another guy. They've got a deal date. The term you want to search is, what is a deal date? Deal date is the date that they need to have $100 million or $1 billion in that account for them to deploy. So there's a deal date. So they're trying to take that money. That's why your money has to be in their account. You need to set up an account in their institution, wherever their institution is, or you have to give the money for them to leverage it for you to participate. That's part 101. There's some other trading platforms that allows you as an entrepreneur to take your money, call your bank, and get a standby letter of credit issued to you. If you don't know how to call your bank and get a standby letter of credit issued, you can contact us, hire us for us to go buy you an instrument, and we charge you money just for buying an instrument for you. So the second way is that you have proof of funds. You've got your KYC, you contact your bank, you get a standby letter of credit issued to you, and then you go to a trade desk and you say, I don't want to give you the cash, but I have a standby letter of credit. I want to give that to you. If you want to do that, my recommendation is to have a private placement program picked first. That's really key. And once you know who the private placement program is, you can then go and ask them, what's the languaging you need for me to give you an instrument? And generally speaking, I'm giving this information completely for free. The instrument has to be unconditional. It has to be cash back. It can be leased or something that it has to be cash back. It has to be from one of the top 20 banks in the world, and it has to be transferable. So conditional, I would definitely also make it callable. I would make it cash back from one of the top 20 banks in the world. And I wouldn't do this with $5 million standby letter of credit. It's just not worth your time. And I don't know anybody who's going to take that on. You have to have a minimum of, I would say, $50 million in a standby letter of credit that you want to put up in a private placement program. The other things you could do if you don't have that amount of capital is look for a way to get something called non-recourse loan. Non-recourse loan is a way where you can get capital. It's issued to you legally in form of a loan. And what makes it attractive is this non-recourse loan. So that means it's a loan that you don't have to repay back. My name is Taimour Zaman. I hope you found this information helpful. There's two things we can do for you. Number one is, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel that we offer. You get a lot of our content, our strategies, our case studies completely for free. And that's part one, is just subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as share with your friends, family, that kind of thing. Second thing is, if you're interested in working with us, there's two ways we can be helpful to you. And it's really, we only operate in one of the two ways. Number one is you go to liveCredit.ai, you go with SBLCs or whether you want a commercial loan, you go to the page you want, you download all the forms you need, you send us proof of funds or a copy of the SBLC with your KYC, with all the forms we give you, you give that to us when you're booking a call with us. That way it allows us to understand or review your paperwork before we get on a call with you, help you out, help you execute. That's like part 101. Now, if you don't have a standard letter of credit, you don't know who the private placement is, you don't have all this other stuff, and you've never done this before, then we charge you a fee. We simply charge you a fee. We get a lot of what I refer to as junk leads, unfortunately, from places like LinkedIn and the internet, whatever. And the way that we scrap through, laser cut through all that, what I refer to as junk lead, is ask for an upfront fee, a small fee that we charge to be on the call. This way, anybody who's fake, doesn't have their paperwork, or is inauthentic, has some kind of a fake document, generally speaking, that cuts them out. And that allows us to have the time and resources to work with real clients, with real opportunities to help them solve and accomplish one promise. I help them access or participate in a small cap private placement program. My name is Taimour Zaman. Thank you so very much for your time. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on your side. So one of the questions people consistently ask me is, Taimour, how can lineofcredit.ai help me out? And the answer is in 3 ways. Number one, if you have never done a private placement program, if you're not successful at raising capital, if you don't know how to monetize a standard letter of credit, you never have had an institution issue a standard letter of credit, I highly recommend booking us for a one-on-one custom training for you and your organization. If you're a broker and you've never helped a client, kind of cross the line, or if you're a, end user customer like a business executive, and you've now participated in an SBLC monetization program or a private placement program, or you simply want to raise capital and you're not good with it, I highly recommend leveraging over 15 years of experience we have in raising capital, in knowing how to monetize standard letters of credit or issuing standard letters of credit, or simply participating in private placement programs. As part of a thank you in your one-on-one custom training, I give you a free copy of my book, Hypergrowth, How to Connect to Customers in New Ways, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. The second way that we can help your organization move forward in some of your business objectives is simply provide you a line of credit or loan that financial institutions or brokers simply can't provide. We've got a couple of very unique programs, Rent a Rich Uncle or the Money Multiplier program, where we provide our assets or purchase courtesy deposits from financial institutions around the world to give you a customized tailored program that works for you and your business needs. And I think we have just a service that really nobody can match. In many cases, financial institutions look at our ratings, look at our credibility, our experience, and feel comfortable lending us millions of dollars that sometimes they don't feel comfortable giving to a small startup or a small business owner or even a gold mine owner. And so in that case, we take on the capital and resell it to the client and give them access to a large sums of capital that financial, traditional institutions or other brokers simply couldn't provide. And then the third way that we can help you out is if you're looking to liquidate some of your assets, like if you've got a standard letter of credit that you want to monetize, we can help take you into a private placement program, or we can help liquidate that standard letter of credit, or simply if you're looking for SBLC to be issued to you, we work with Tier A institutions to have that issued for you. My name is Taimour Zaman, and I look forward to the opportunity of working with you.